Namaste everyone, I am your co-host Shravani ma'am. Welcome to your favorite learning channel. The topic for today's video is diffusion and osmosis. So what we already know is that plants absorb water and minerals and they absorb them from their roots. So these roots actually have specialized outgrowths of epidermis, okay? And this is called, these specialized outgrowths are called root hair. So what does root hair do? So we can say that roots have specialized outgrowths. Roots have specialized outgrowths, and these are called root hair. And these root hair, they actually increase the surface area of roots and facilitate better absorption of minerals and water. So we can see that root hair actually helps in absorption of water and minerals. So this absorption that takes place in plants is of this process of absorption takes place by means of two processes, okay, and these processes are, one is diffusion and the other one is osmosis. Okay, so now first we will understand what is diffusion. So diffusion is a process in which movement occurs. It is the process where movement takes place. So movement of what? Movement of molecules. It is the movement of molecules that takes place from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Okay, so we can define diffusion in this way. Okay, so by this process of diffusion, roots absorb water and minerals. By this process, that is by the process of diffusion, roots absorb what? They absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. So only when this process of diffusion takes place, or the roots absorb water and minerals from the soil, only when the concentration of ions in soil is greater or it is more than that in root hair cells. So in this case, the mineral ions move from soil to root hair cells. Okay, because we already mentioned that it is the movement where the molecules are moving from higher concentration region to a lower concentration region. So this movement process of water and minerals will only take place when the concentration of the ions are greater in soil than in root hair cells. So only then this diffusion process will take place, and from the soil the water and mineral salts will move into the root hair cells. Okay, so next we will be talking about osmosis. So osmosis is a process where movement takes place, movement of water, we can say water molecules. So here movement occurs of water molecules from a region of higher concentration, from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration, but here there is a presence of semi-permeable membrane. Okay, through a semi-permeable membrane. So this movement process takes place in the presence of a semi-permeable membrane. So water is absorbed by plants from roots, okay, through semi-permeable membrane present on the root hair cells. So that membrane allows water movement from higher concentration that is present in the soil to lower concentration that is into the root hair cells. This movement leads to osmosis of water. Okay, so once this water enters the cells of roots or root hair, the concentration increases within the root hair, correct, as compared to the adjacent cells. So therefore water from root hair cells further move to the neighboring cells, and this way water travels upward from one cell to another. Okay, so now here we can see osmosis in a plant cell, that is when the cells are in isotonic condition, hypotonic condition and hypertonic condition. So what is isotonic condition? In case of isotonic condition, what happens is, it is a condition where there is equal solute concentration outside as well as inside the cell. So here what is happening? The amount of water that is entering inside the cell is equal to the amount of water that is moving out of the cell. So in such condition, we can say that an equilibrium is being maintained. So in such condition, the plant cell becomes flaccid. Okay. Then in hypotonic condition, let's see what happens. So what is hypotonic condition? So in hypotonic condition, the external solution is more dilute as compared to the cytoplasm that is inside the cell. So in this case, what happens? As I mentioned that external solution is more dilute, that means there is more water present in the external surface. Thus, as we have already seen, water is moving from higher concentration to lower concentration. So in this case also, water will be moving inside the cells from the outside region, because outside there is more concentration of water. So in this case, when water enters the cells actually swell up, right? When the cells swell up, their turgidity increases. Okay, so in hypotonic condition, the plant cells become more turgid. Then let's see what is hypertonic condition. So in case of hypertonic condition, the external solution is more concentrated. Hence, here the water will be flowing from inside the cell to outside. So in such cases, what happens is, the cell actually, the protoplasm, it shrinks from the cell wall, and in such case or this type of cell condition is called plasmolysed cell. Okay, so let's now revise the things that we have studied till now. So as we know that plants absorb water and minerals from roots, these roots have specialized outgrowths called root hair. So this root hair actually increases the surface area of roots for better absorption of water and minerals. Now, the absorption in plants takes place by two processes. One is diffusion and the other is osmosis. So, during diffusion, what happens is movement takes place of molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. So, by this process, by following the process of diffusion, roots absorb water and mineral salts from the soil. So, and this process only takes place when concentration of ions in the soil is larger or greater than in root hair cells. In that case, mineral ions move from soil to the root hair cells. Then the next process is osmosis. So what happens during osmosis? Osmosis is the process where movement takes place of molecules like water molecules from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. Okay. So water is actually absorbed by plants from the soil through roots or by the help of roots, and the presence of semi-permeable membrane that is present on the root hair cells, they allow water movement from higher concentration region which is present in the soil to lower concentration region that is in the root hair cells. So this movement leads to osmosis of water. So once water enters the cell of root hair, the concentration increases in root hair as compared to the adjacent cells, and therefore what happens is water from root hair moves to neighboring cells, and in this way water actually travels upward from one cell to another. So then we saw three conditions, that is, first is isotonic solution or isotonic condition. In isotonic condition, an equilibrium is maintained, that is, the amount of water that flows inside the cell is equal to the amount of water that moves out of the cell. So in such condition, the plant cell remains in a flaccid condition, okay, as here the equilibrium is maintained because equal amount of water is entering into the cell and the same amount of water is moving out of the cell. Then in case of hypotonic condition, what happens is the external solution is more dilute. Hence water moves from exterior into the cell, that is interior of the cell. So when water moves inside the cell, obviously the cells will swell up and this will increase the turgidity of the cell. So in case of hypotonic condition, the plant cell becomes more turgid. Then what is hypertonic condition? Hypertonic solution or condition is when external solution is more concentrated than it is present inside the cell. So what happens in such cases? The water moves from inside to outside the cell. So as the water is moving out of the cell, this is leading to the shrinkage, and this causes the protoplasm of the cell to shrink from the cell wall, and this condition is called plasmolysed cell. This condition of the cell is said to be plasmolysed condition of the cell. So I hope you all would have got some great insights by watching today's video. Please do not forget to like and share the video. Till then, thank you for watching.